Here is a truth most men don't fully understand until it's already too late. Women never forget how a man made them feel, not what you said, not how much the date cost, not even how attractive you were. What stays with her, what remains long after you're gone, is the emotional imprint you left behind. And here's the nuance. Most men are so focused on trying to impress women that they completely miss what actually creates a lasting impact. They chase perfection, money, status, or appearance. Meanwhile, the man she can't forget is the one who truly understood how her psychology works. He knew what to say, how to behave, and how to connect in a way that anchored itself in her mind and in her body. That is the kind of man who becomes unforgettable, not just a passing memory. So in this video, we're going to dive into the key elements a man can embody that a woman will never forget. These go far beyond surface-level tactics. They connect directly to how women are emotionally wired. They tap into female psychology in a way that triggers respect, desire, and even obsession. And no, this is not about playing the bad boy or pretending you don't care. It's about knowing how to leave a powerful emotional impression without forcing anything. A lot of guys try too hard. The men who are remembered play a smarter game. They create moments, feelings, and dynamics that linger long after the interaction ends. If a woman has ever cut things off with you, lost interest, or simply didn't feel the spark after what you thought was a great connection, there's a strong chance you didn't trigger the right emotional imprint. Welcome to the channel. If you're here to understand how women really think and how to become the kind of man they remember for a lifetime, you're in the right place. Let's break this down together. Here are the 7 powerful angles we're going to cover in this video. 1. Leave her better than you found her. One of the most unforgettable things a man can do is leave a woman in a better state than the one she was in before meeting him. This does not mean fixing her life. It does not mean being her therapist, her savior, or her emotional support system. It means showing up with such grounded masculine energy that she feels more inspired, more feminine, and more connected to herself after being around you. Most men focus on what they can get from a woman: attention, sex, affection, validation. The men she never forgets are the ones who gave her something internal, not a gift or a compliment, but an experience that elevated her. This is about presence. When you listen to her, really listen, not to reply, not to impress, but to understand. She feels a level of attention most men never give her. She notices it, and it stays with her. It's also about energy. When you're confident without needing anything from her, it creates safety. She can lower her guard, she can breathe, she can be in her femininity. That shift alone will mark you in her memory, even if you never touch her. Here's a situation to illustrate this. Imagine a man meeting a woman who is used to men trying to impress her. They brag, they flatter, they push for intimacy. But this man is different. He's calm. He asks thoughtful questions. He challenges her respectfully and doesn't rush anything. He ends the evening by saying, "You have an incredible mind. You don't come across that energy very often." And then he leaves. No pressure, no chasing, just grounded presence. She might not realize it in the moment, but days later, she'll still be thinking about him. You see, it's not always the dramatic gestures or romantic moments that last. It's how you made her feel about herself. Did she feel more valued, more feminine, more herself? That's the test. Women are constantly surrounded by men who want to take something. You stand out by giving something she didn't even realize she needed. Clarity, calm, respect, honesty. These things land differently. They reach the part of her that wants to be felt, not impressed. And here's the part most men miss. When you leave her better than you found her, you win either way. Even if nothing comes of it, you've left a mark. And if something does come of it, she has already anchored that feeling of growth and safety to you. So stop worrying about what you can say to impress her. Focus on how she feels after being with you. Be the kind of man who elevates her, not because you're trying to, but because that's simply who you are. 2. Make her feel deeply seen. Most men talk to women, but very few truly see them. That's the difference between an unforgettable man and one who fades from memory. When a man makes a woman feel deeply seen, not just for her looks or her personality, but for her essence, he triggers something powerful in her psychology. It's rare, it's magnetic, and it's unforgettable. Let's be honest, women are used to being admired for superficial things. Compliments about her appearance, her body, her style, that's normal. She hears it every day. It no longer lands, it's background noise. But when a man notices something deeper, like how she lights up when she talks about what she loves, or how she holds back when she's nervous, she feels it. Because most men never go there. Making a woman feel seen is about awareness. It's paying attention not just to what she says, but how she says it. It's noticing what excites her, what she avoids, what she's passionate about, and what makes her unsure, without her having to spell it out. When you reflect that understanding back to her in a subtle, grounded way, it hits deeply. Here's what it does not mean. It doesn't mean digging for her secrets or playing therapist. It's not an intense interrogation. It's about being present enough to catch the real person beneath the surface conversation. That's what makes her feel connected. That's what makes her open up. You want her to feel like she doesn't need to perform around you, that she doesn't need to wear her dating mask. That's where emotional intimacy begins. And when you create that space, she remembers you. Even if things don't progress, she remembers the moment she didn't feel the need to be anything other than herself. And here's what sets you apart even more. See her, but don't put her on a pedestal. Most men either ignore a woman's depth or, when they notice it, they overdo it. They gush. They idolize. That's not attractive. It's suffocating. The man she remembers is the one who sees her fully and accepts her as she is, with a calm, masculine energy that doesn't waver. So if you want to become unforgettable, stop trying to impress her. Start paying attention. Listen deeper. Observe more. When you make her feel understood in a way others don't, you leave an emotional imprint that lasts. 3. Lead without controlling. There's a fine line between leading and controlling, and most men either don't lead at all or try to lead through force. Neither leaves a good memory. The man a woman never forgets is the one who knows how to lead with calm confidence without ever making her feel controlled, trapped, or dismissed. Let's start here. Women want to be led, not dominated, not overpowered, but guided. This speaks directly to their feminine energy. When a man can take charge in a way that feels stable and safe, it creates both security and excitement at the same time. That balance is powerful. The problem is most men don't understand the difference. Controlling behavior is rigid. It's insecure. It demands submission. It may get short-term compliance, but it builds long-term resentment, and she eventually pulls away. A man who tries to control everything is usually afraid of losing control himself. That energy shows. She feels it. Leadership, on the other hand, is flexible. It comes from strength. It looks like setting a clear direction while remaining open to her input. Providing certainty without forcing agreement. Saying, let's do this, instead of endlessly asking, what do you want to do? Handling situations calmly instead of reacting emotionally. Women don't remember the guy who says, I don't care, whatever you want. That's passive. That's forgettable. They remember the man who naturally takes the lead, who makes decisions with intention, who moves with purpose, who has opinions without being pushy. Leadership also shows up emotionally. When things get tense, do you stay grounded or escalate the conflict? A man who can hold the frame when she's emotional without trying to control or fix her gives her something most men never do. Emotional safety. She may test you, she may push, she may become unpredictable, not to ruin things, but to see if you can handle the storm. If you can, she trusts you on a deeper level. Here's where many men slip. They confuse being easygoing with being passive. They think being cool means letting her lead everything. But when a woman has to lead all the time, she becomes exhausted. She might stay, but the attraction fades. She won't remember you as the man who made her feel feminine. She'll remember you as the man she had to carry emotionally. So lead with direction, not dominance. Invite her energy, but don't lean on it. Take charge without making her feel small. That's how you create a dynamic she won't forget. 4. Trigger her respect, not just her attraction. Most guys chase attraction. They want the spark, the chemistry, the signs that she's interested. And while attraction matters, here's a truth many men overlook. If she's attracted to you but doesn't respect you, it's over before it ever begins. You might get attention, you might even get physical intimacy, but she won't stay, she won't open up, and you'll never truly occupy her mind or her heart. Women never forget the men they respect, and respect goes far beyond looks, money, or charm. Respect is built on how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, how consistently you show up as a grounded, reliable man. So what actually triggers a woman's respect? First, boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, she won't trust your strength. If you tolerate behavior that clearly crosses the line just because you're afraid of losing her, she loses respect, even if she never says it. A woman remembers the man who held his standards, even when it cost him something. Second, accountability. Can you own your words? Can you admit when you're wrong without collapsing or getting defensive? That's rare. Most people deflect blame. The man who calmly takes responsibility stands out. He's mature, he's solid, and that leaves a mark. Third, purpose. Are you building something in your life that matters to you? You don't need to be rich or famous. But if you're drifting, she feels it. A man with direction earns respect without needing to prove anything. Women sense when you're centered. They also sense when you're lost. Fourth, emotional control. This doesn't mean being cold. It means being grounded. When something goes wrong, plans change, she's upset, tension appears. Do you panic, over-explain, or justify yourself? Or do you stay composed and handle it calmly? She never forgets the man who made her feel stable when life felt shaky. And finally, consistency. Women don't respect inconsistent men. If you say one thing and do another, or if your energy constantly shifts based on her mood, she notices, she may not call it out, but it changes how she sees you. The man who shows up with the same grounded presence, who follows through, who doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable, that's the man who stays in her mind. It comes down to this. Attraction may pull her in, but respect is what makes her stay. And if you never earn her respect, she will forget you the moment something more stable appears. 5. Create emotional contrast. If you want to be unforgettable to a woman, you cannot be predictable. That doesn't mean playing games or creating drama. It means creating emotional contrast. Why? Because humans don't remember neutral experiences. They remember shifts, highs and lows, moments that surprise them emotionally. Women, in particular, are wired to respond to emotional variety. It's how they bond, how they process experiences, how memories are formed. So if every interaction with you feels the same tone, same compliments, same routine, there's nothing for her to hold on to. You fade into the background. But when you make her laugh, challenge her thinking, slow things down to become serious for a moment, then bring the lightness back. Now you've created movement. She feels alive around you, and that's what makes her think about you when you're not there. Picture this, you're on a date. Instead of jumping straight into polite small talk, you tease her lightly. You playfully disagree with something she says. She laughs. A few minutes later, you shift gears. You ask a deeper question. Not heavy, just real. Her energy changes. She opens up. Then you bring it back to the present moment with a confident smile and a light story. She smiles again, but now she's thinking. You've created multiple emotional layers in a single interaction, and she feels it. Here's the key. You're not forcing anything. You're simply dynamic. And that's rare. Most men get stuck in one gear. Funny but shallow. Serious but dry. Polite but boring. Emotional contrast keeps her engaged. It creates depth. It makes time spent with you feel valuable. Women crave emotional experience. They want to feel different sides of you. Playful, grounded, focused, calm, assertive. When you bring that range, she feels like she's interacting with a complete man, not a one-dimensional character trying to impress her. This doesn't mean acting. It means stopping the over-filtering. If you feel playful, lean into it. If something deeper comes up, don't avoid it. If the moment calls for silence, hold it. These shifts create emotional moments, and emotional moments are what she remembers. So ask yourself, do your interactions feel alive or flat? Do you give her something to feel or just something to hear? When you create emotional contrast with confidence and ease, you become more than a man she liked. You become an experience she remembers. 6. Handle conflict without losing the frame. Let's be honest. Conflict is where most men fall apart. It's easy to be confident when everything is going well, but when tension hits, when she's upset, pulls away, or tests your boundaries, that's when true strength or weakness shows. And here's the truth. How you handle conflict is one of the fastest ways for a woman to decide whether you're a man she can respect or a man she'll forget. Many men go into fixer mode. She's emotional. He panics. He starts explaining, apologizing, or trying to smooth things over just to restore peace. That doesn't make her feel safe. It makes her feel like she's controlling the emotional dynamic. And that kills attraction. Others swing to the opposite extreme. They become defensive. They shut down. They raise their voice. They try to dominate the situation. That doesn't create trust either. It creates fear or resentment. In both cases, she learns that you can't hold the frame when things get uncomfortable. So what does holding the frame actually look like? It means staying grounded when emotions rise. It means listening without reacting instantly. You hear her without collapsing or exploding. You stay calm, direct, and clear. You don't beg her to calm down. You bring calm into the room yourself. Here's something powerful to remember. When you remain calm during conflict, you become the emotional anchor. That's rare, that's masculine, and that's unforgettable. Women feel deeply. And when a man can meet that energy with stability, not coldness, she feels safe enough to soften, even in disagreement. Handling conflict like a man also means you don't avoid hard conversations. You don't go silent. You don't disappear just because things feel uncomfortable. Instead, you face it honestly, not angrily. You say what needs to be said clearly and directly, not to win, but to create clarity and connection. And don't confuse this with passivity. Holding the frame doesn't mean letting her walk over you. It means calmly reinforcing your boundaries when needed, without raising your voice or losing emotional control. That combination of strength and composure is rare, and it earns lasting respect. Here's what most men never learn. Conflict isn't the end. It's the test. It's the moment she's unconsciously asking, "Can this man handle me at my worst?" If the answer is yes, she will never forget you. So don't fear tension. Don't run from disagreement. Use those moments to show who you really are by staying centered, clear, and firm. Salanila, Yarm Honor 7. Walk away like a man who knows his worth. Here's something most men don't want to hear, but need to. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. Not in anger, not as manipulation, but with calm clarity, because you know your value. And you refuse to stay where you're not respected, valued, or prioritized. Women never forget a man who leaves the right way. Most men stay too long. They invest too much. They tolerate poor behavior. They excuse disrespect. Why? Because they're afraid of losing her, but that fear makes them weak in her eyes. The moment you're willing to lose yourself to keep her, she loses interest. On the other hand, some men leave emotionally. They shut down. They ghost. They play games because they don't know how to handle their feelings. That's not strength. That's emotional avoidance. But when a man walks away with self-respect and control, it leaves a mark. It sounds like this. "This connection isn't aligned with where I'm going, and I wish you the best." Or, I don't feel respected in this dynamic, so I'm going to step back. Or even, you're great, but this isn't what I'm looking for. No drama, no guilt, no begging for explanations, just firm, respectful truth. Women remember this because it's rare. Most men either cling too long or react emotionally. The man who leaves calmly from a situation that no longer serves him stands out. He's in control. He values himself more than his need for attention, sex, or comfort. And she feels that shift even if she never says it. Here's the deeper part. Walking away isn't just about her. It's about you. It's about protecting your energy, honoring your standards. When you know who you are and what you deserve, you don't waste time trying to convince someone to choose you. That's when self-worth becomes felt, not just spoken. When you can let go of a woman who doesn't meet your standards, not because she's wrong, but because she's not aligned, you free yourself to attract someone who truly is. And that level of masculine self-respect is deeply attractive. Even if she never admits it, she will respect you more for leaving with dignity than for staying and begging for scraps. So here's the challenge. If you're in a situation that drains you, disrespects you, or keeps you stuck, don't just talk about being a high-value man. Live it. Step away. Leave. And don't look back unless there is real, consistent change. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you powerful. It shows her, and yourself, that you don't settle. Here's the reality, gentlemen. A woman may forget your face, your words, even your name, but she will never forget how you made her feel. And when you master these principles, when you leave her better than you found her, lead with calm confidence, show emotional depth, hold your frame, and walk away with dignity, you become the kind of man she carries with her long after you're gone. Not every connection lasts. That's life. But every man has the power to become unforgettable, not by being flashy or perfect, but by standing firm in his masculine energy. Most men won't do this. They'll stay stuck chasing validation, afraid to lead, afraid to upset her, afraid to walk away. They blend into the crowd. You don't have to. You can be the man who made her pause and reflect, the one she mentions in random conversations, the one she can't quite shake, not because of what you gave her, but because of who you were. So let me ask you, are you leaving a lasting impact or just passing through? Leave a comment below and tell me what resonated most in this video. Have you already made one of these moves? Is there a moment you wish you had handled differently? I read every comment. I respond as well, because this channel exists to build better men, not just to get views. Thank you for being here. Let's keep building. Stay sharp, stay grounded. She'll remember.